Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to wait a couple minutes to get started to let people come in a little bit late. While you're waiting, if you haven't already, if you could go ahead and drop your first and last name and access ID in the chat if you have one. If not, just your first and last name is fine.
I'm sorry, Amber, I did not hear you. Would you repeat that, please?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Just go ahead and drop your name, first and last name and access ID in the chat.
Okay. All right. Good to see you. Okay.
Yeah, you too. Harper Allen is here. She's my work study student and she's awesome. And so if you can make sure that she can see it, so don't DM me because Harper is going to be keeping attendance. So if you could send it to either if you send it to the group or directly to Harper if you don't want everyone to see it. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. First off, thanks everyone for being here. I know it's the evening. Probably want to, be hanging out with your family, eating some dinner. Probably won't take super long today, but I'm excited to see everyone to share this opportunity with you. This session is part of our Tuesday talks, which are sessions open to adult learners of vastly different backgrounds. So that's generally returning warriors. That's anybody returning to Wayne State after an absence. Of course, our Warrior Way Back program, which is the debt forgiveness program. Adult learners is kind of the umbrella term that we're using for everyone at the session, really. Phoenix is for the GPA forgiveness, transfer students, justice impacted students, also military affiliated students. So lots of different folks in the room today, and I'm excited to see everyone here and welcome. So let's get things started. So the first thing I'm going to do is do some brief introductions of me. Then I'll pass it over to Veronica, who's going to talk about the wealth of information in the library. And then after that, we'll do some quick wrap up. So it's going to be a pretty condensed agenda today. I think most of you know me. My name is Amber Neer. That's Neer as in far. I've been at Wayne State since 2018, primarily working with the Warrior Way Back program and advising those students, kind of managing that program, but also for really all of our adult learners here at Wayne State. So if you ever have any questions, not sure where to go, I'm a great person to get in touch with because I have some good colleagues and partnerships across campus to help you get the answers that you need. But of course, we're here to learn more about the library resources. So I'm going to pass it over to Veronica. And I'll stop sharing my screen so you can share yours.
Oh, thank you. My cat just decided to play with one of his noisy toys. So if you hear something that sounds like a bird chirping in the background, that's what it is. So hi, everyone. And thank you, Amber, for having me today. My name is Veronica Bielat. I'm the Student Success Librarian here at Wayne State, and I'm also the Subject Specialist Librarian for English, Political Science, and Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies. So on that note, I just wanted to remind everyone that the libraries do have subject specialist librarians assigned to each college department and program on campus. And one of the things I'll make sure that I show you today is that you can make appointments with them if you would like individualized assistance with library research. And if you have a pretty big research paper or project, we suggest that people reach out to their librarian when they get started, because we can make sure that you're using your time wisely and locating the resources that you need right away. So please don't feel you ever have to struggle with that process. It's something we can help you with. I have a little document that is the materials that we're going to go over today and the links. So everything we talk about today is on that document, and you're welcome to download it. I hope you can download a copy for yourself. If not, Amber, we'll make sure I send it to you also, and if you don't mind distributing it to folks, that would be great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I'm going to get started here. Uh-oh. Let me get back to there we go. Okay. So first is my contact information. So you can always contact me on email. So the next thing I want to do is just make sure everybody knows that the library homepage is the place you want to get started. So you always want to just go to library.wayne.edu when you're, there he is, starting your research paper or project. And I just wanted to show you, we do have a new help available. So if you go to this little green button down in the corner, it's down in the right-hand corner, you could get right to our 24/7 chat. So we have librarians available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not all of them are from Wayne State, but they are all librarians. And we work as part of a larger consortium across the state and internationally on, the really early morning hours and late night hours to help students with research papers and projects. We could also help if you can't find something. We can help you with that. We can help you if something's not working. Maybe you found something that you want to use and can't figure out how to get it. Maybe you need some help with citing your sources. So please feel free to use that help. The other thing our help has on it is our staff directory and a make an appointment link. So in either of these cases, you could go to the staff directory if you want to see who the librarian is. And if you just go to staff directory and you could just type in where it says title and liaison for, you could just type in a subject area. So for example, if you are engineering, you could put in engineering and you'll see Clayton Hayes shows up. And Clayton is our subject specialist librarian for engineering. And the librarians have a make an appointment link on their page. Or you can just go to, our help and select make appointment. And that will take you to a form that lets you select the subject and we'll find the librarian for you. I also wanted to let folks know, because I know sometimes you get to campus and you might have time between classes, or you might need a quiet place to study if home is a little bit busy. So we do have study rooms available. You can find them on the library homepage. They can be reserved up to 2 weeks in advance, up to 3 hours a day. So if you need to reserve a study room for yourself or a group, you can go ahead and do that ahead of time online. We also have just instituted a 24/7 locker pickup. So if the hours, although our hours we're open pretty late and open pretty early, if you find that you would prefer, maybe you can only come on Saturday night or something, you can, if you're going to pick up a book or something that you've requested, a print book, and have on hold, you can use our library lockers to select that. And there's instructions on how to do that if you make a selection. Okay. And just go back here to our document. Were there any questions? And you could put it in the chat or unmute yourself. Were there any questions about libraries, resources, or services that you might have, or things that you've run into that you might need help with, just sort of as an overview here? Hi, Lisa. Go ahead.
Hi. I am just really amazed that a resource for 24-hour help is actually a thing. And so if I'm
it's a person.
if I'm up at like 2, 3 in the morning and I get stuck on something, there's going to be someone there to like reach out to for support.
Yes, absolutely. And also, if for some reason, because sometimes the librarian at the other end doesn't have the access or ability to solve the problem right then, they will make sure that they submit a ticket that for us that gets checked in the morning. So someone will get back to you on that issue also and follow up with you. So yeah, it's an easy way to just not have to. I know how that is. It's like, oh, I have to remember to do whatever. And then I end up not remembering during office hours. Usually trying to make a medical appointment is the worst one for me. So yeah, please feel free anytime, day or night. We're there to support and help you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, because I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly the first time. So that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please use it. And yep, you can find it right on the library homepage. So I just wanted to sort of take you through maybe some different approaches to research papers and projects. I'm really focused on, I know that especially when we're focusing on adult learners and when you come back to school as an adult, which is something that I myself did, you have a lot of other things that you have to do. I worked full time. I was married. I didn't have children. I can't even imagine what that's like. So, you have a lot of different pulls on your time. So what I'm going to do today is sort of take you through some resources and services that I think can help you save time. And that's sort of my goal today, is to point those out to you. So I thought I'd start out with sort of like a getting started, like how do I get started? What do I need to think about? So, as soon as you get your syllabus and you see you have a 15-page research paper due at the end of the semester, there's some things that you can do right away. I am not a planner person. Like, I really dislike daily planners. It's something that doesn't work for me. So I have to find other ways of creating to-do lists to get things done. If you are a planner person, that's really great too, because you are very organized and you probably don't have a lot of issues. But one of the hardest things that I found when I was an undergraduate, and even when I started graduate school, was trying to like divide up getting a research paper done so I wasn't doing it all in like 3 or 4 days, which, when you have to start finding and reading research articles, maybe rejecting some of them because they're not like something, they don't end up not being useful. That all of that stuff takes a lot of time. So we have this tool called an assignment planner, and I'm just going to go there really quick. So this is the assignment planner. It's a cool little tool. It's great for traditional research papers and projects. So when you have, I know that some instructors actually do have deadlines and they do have like intermediary work that you have to get done. But if you end up with a paper that doesn't have those kind of touch points to keep you on track, this might be helpful. So let's say this is due in like maybe before finals. So I'm going to put 4/15 and plan this assignment. And then what happens is it tells me how long do I have to finish it. I can sign up for email or text message reminders. I can get a printer-friendly version, and it breaks up that research paper into 12 steps. And some of them are just really short, and some of them are, so it's easier to try to get through those things and get things done in a more timely manner. So that's a little tool that we have, the assignment planner. The other thing that you should do is consider using a citation manager. I'm wondering how many of you might use something like EasyBib or NightCite. Does anybody use a tool like that? You can just raise your hand or say yes or put it in the chat.
I've used one of them, but I'm not sure what the name of the website was.
So what a citation manager is it's a way to collect all of your references for a paper, all of your articles and websites and whatever you're using. And then as you're writing your paper, it formats the citation in the proper format. These kinds of tools usually have a copy paste function where you can just copy and paste the citation out of it, or they actually can integrate right into Word so that it sticks it in as you're writing. I find for, if you're just like a beginner user of one of these tools, the copy paste function is fine. It works well. And unless you're like, you consider if you're still like a little bit like technology, that word integration can sometimes be a little confusing. So I thought I'd just show you what these tools look like. And then, what I want to encourage you is that if this is something you'd like to explore, please make an appointment with me, or you can go to the guides that I've provided, because they provide step-by-step on implementing and using these. But I am happy to meet with you and walk through how to get them, how to set up your accounts, and how to start using them. And they have pretty low learning curves, so they're really not that challenging once you sort of wrap your head around what they do. So the first one I'm going to show you is Zotero. Zotero is good for you if you have your own computer and you usually work on that computer all the time, because it's a little program that downloads onto your computer. It has a cloud backup option, so you'll always have a backup. So this is they call them libraries. So what's nice is it's not just like one class at a time. I can keep all my stuff in here. So a lot of times as you move forward in your academic career, you may find that, oh, I'm going to write I'm in social work, so I'm going to write papers. I'm going to kind of be interested in the same kind of topics from class to class. And you never want to hand in the same paper, but you might end up using similar references or a couple of the same references as you go from paper to paper. So it lets you organize them. So you can organize all your references. There's a big library that always has everything. You can see over here on the side that what it does is it keeps all of the information about a reference. So it's got all of the information that it needs for a citation. And then what can happen is that if I'm writing a paper and say I wanted to cite this paper in it, I could just use my other mouse button and tell it to create a bibliography. I could pick the citation style I need. So I'm going to use APA, and I'm going to tell it first that I want a citation. So this is going to do an in-text citation for me. So that would be like this one here. And then I can tell it, oh, you know what? I also want a bibliography citation, reference list citation. So I'm going to also say create bibliography from item, bibliography. And it copies it right to the clipboard. And then I could paste it at the end of my paper like that. And it does a pretty good job. It's not always perfect, but it does a pretty good job of formatting that citation, including even doing the proper indentation. So that's kind of cool. All right, so that's all I wanted to show you. And then, like I said, there's also ways that they actually integrate into Word, and I could add the citation that way. But that can be a little bit more complex. There's another one that we have called RefWorks. RefWorks is cloud-based, so RefWorks works really well if you don't usually work on your own computer and you kind of bounce around between a work computer and a school computer and other computers. This lets you work in the cloud. It also saves all of your citation information. So you can see on the side here, it's got all of that citation information, very much like Zotero. They function very similarly. And if I wanted to take something, and let me just grab one here that I know is a good one. Okay. I can, in this case, what I do is I tell it to create a bibliography, and I can do what's called a quick cite. Again, I can tell it the citation style. It's a little bit slow today. But if I pick the citation style, it also compiles a in-text citation and a bibliography citation. This is one of the reasons that I like Zotero if you have your own computer, because sometimes, you know, you can't always count on the internet. So I don't know what it's doing here, but this again, if you don't have your own computer and you don't, or you tend to work in a lot of places, this is a good option. And then, of course, again, you know, having your plan, getting started by meeting with a subject specialist librarian, especially if you have a large research paper, can sometimes be really helpful, because it can sometimes be challenging to select a good topic or formulate the topic in a way that it's a researchable, solid research question or research like thesis statement that you want to use. So that's something that we can help you with. Does anybody have any questions about those tools that I've shown you?
I have one just real quick. Are those two programs only available to Wayne State students?
RefWorks is a subscription service, so that one is only available to Wayne State students. But Zotero is what they call open source software, so anyone in the world can download that. That's it's freely available. And the guide to using it is also freely available. So if you go to this this page here, I'm just going to drop it in the chat. It'll take you through the whole thing of getting started, installing. It's got some videos on using it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Veronica. I had a question.
Yeah.